Okay, the other thing I didn't tell you, this parcel tax, I don't know what the name of it is. But there's some other things, two more things I could tell you about the parcel tax that just came to my mind again. One is the amount of this particular parcel tax. And there's something else about it. These parcel taxes usually have a period of time that they're going to last. But they don't have to have that. They can be permanent. But the people can make an initiative to end it, to repeal it. Okay. I guess they do it so that they make it like 8 years or something, because they kind of sell the people it's a temporary thing, No, I mean, it's always going to be. They're always going to. The crazy thing is, they shouldn't have to do this. Always spend this, because these elections are expensive. And I didn't tell you about the money either, so keep that in mind. The Lakeside District on this particular parcel tax spent $70,000 with a consultant to do 2 or 3 mailings, to tell them how to do it. It's 4-color, everything, mailed, but only to voters. They didn't mail any to the 300 like me, because they don't care about us. We got to pay it. We're not voting on it, We don't get to vote. Although I told him the secret that we're going to start voting. So that's the thing. There was only, when the last one passed, it passed with just 700 votes. That means they're paying $70,000 to get 700 votes. So, are you pretty good with your decimal points? You move it over 2, that's $100 per vote. Okay? But they do it every so often, every 8 years, It's just it's the only money, But what the heck? I'm getting tax money, veterans benefits, this and that, So, should I complain? Well, I am. Because it's like they're taking my land. And you know how the Indians feel when you took their land, and you know how the Ukrainians feel that the gremlin is trying to take their land. People, they kind of dig in their heels, shall we say. They don't like it. And so anyway, that's what we got. We got a warpath. So I didn't tell you about the tax this time. We don't know the name. Don't know the letter. We'll find out. There's going to be arguments this week, so I got to turn one in a couple days here. Okay, and I heard at the meeting they voted on, and they announced what it was going to be. For the first time, this tax is going to increase every year. If anybody's listening to this is something to know. I mean, you probably already know this. They put a cap on it. It's a cost of living thing to go up like with inflation. Some years, like last year with COVID, I mean, it was up like 7%. Sometimes it is less than 3, but not often. It's usually right around 3, I think, because that's economics these days. You don't want deflation. You'd rather have inflation. And there's a lot of things to talk about with that, but let's just take it as a given. People don't want deflation. They want inflation if they got to have something. So this tax will increase at 3% a year, unless it happens to be a lower cost of living increase for the San Jose area. So let's just say it's 3%. That's kind of an average. Maybe it's a little high, but they put a cap on it, so it's not going to be too ridiculous. They're thinking of the voters. They're thinking of what I'm going to say. And what I'm going to say is this is a $6,000 parcel tax. And I went to the AI. I could have figured it out, but it's so simple to ask the AI, hey, is this going to make my brain shrink if I just use AI all the time? You know, they say that this is my next video. Back when we were hunter-gatherers and we had to go and think about hunting and how to survive and eat something, to make traps, to do all, we actually had a bigger brain. And it might have been because we were eating more meat. So we're going to talk about that carnivore. Look up my other channel. I don't know what I'm going to call it, so you probably won't find it unless you put in my name, Lober, Carlton Lober. So the parcel tax, and the AI spit out a number. It was, I think it was over 6,000. It was 6,165. That's if it increases, because, you know, it's 3% on top of 3% on top of 3% on top of 3%. That's how Mr. Buffett got, you know, $100 billion. If you save and you increases 10% a year for 40 or 50 years, you got a lot of money. You got a lot of money. You are doing fine. So this tax starts out at $647, but it goes up to $816 the last year. So that's something to keep in mind. It's a $6,000 parcel tax.